Good evening and welcome to everyone. I'm so glad you have been able to join me. And in the next 60 minutes, we are going to cover quite a number of important things regarding how to focus and concentrate for ultimate success in life. And in the next 60 minutes, I also would love to get to know you. So let me start from myself. I'm from Hyderabad. Tell me in the chat where you are from so I know where everyone is joining me from. Type in the chat where you are from Chennai. Chevella is in Hyderabad, isn't it? Uttar Pradesh, Kakinada, Bangalore, Rohtak, Bihar, Hyderabad. Hyderabad, huh? Looks like quite a number of people from Hyderabad, Mumbai, Hospet, Itwa. Bihar. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Isn't it wonderful that you are there at your place? I'm here at my place, and yet, with the magic of the modern internet technologies, we are connecting today in this way, and the universe has brought us together in this fashion. So, let me ask you a related question. I am launching a poll. If this is the first time that you are seeing me, click on A. Yes, Venkat, this is the first time I'm seeing you. Or if you have already seen me before, click on B. I have attended your previous webinar. Okay, let me end the poll. Let me end the poll and look here. 95% of you are seeing me for the first time and 5% seeing me again. All right, great. So to the 95% of the people who are seeing me for the first time, thank you all for deciding to invest your time on someone who you did not hear about, who you do not know about, and I really appreciate that. And for those of you who are back in the webinar, thank you for coming back. And I know that you could have been doing any number of things at this hour, but you have decided to invest your time in this webinar. And to me, that tells me that you are interested in learning something new that will take the quality of your life to the next level. And I sincerely acknowledge that, respect that, and on my part, I want to make sure that every minute that you spend here in this webinar is going to be well worth your time. But I cannot do it alone. For your time to be worth it, I need you to commit on 3 things for the duration of this webinar only. The first commitment I'm looking for is, because we are talking about how to focus and concentrate, I want you to give your full attention and focus and concentration on this webinar so that you can get the full results out of it. The second commitment I would love from you is for you to engage with me completely. By engaging, what I mean is, whenever I prompt you to write something in the chat, please do so. Whenever I put out a poll, please participate in the poll, and you have already seen how that works. And I want this webinar to be as interactive as possible, not just one-sided me speaking to you. And the third commitment I would love from you is for you to stay until the end of this webinar. And if you do all these 3 things, I guarantee you that you are going to walk away with something very valuable that you can use in your everyday life. Now, do we all agree to this? Let us come to an agreement. If you agree to this, type A in the chat for agree. Type A in the chat if you agree to this. All right, look at all the agreements that I'm getting from you. Wow, a number of people agreeing to this, and I deeply appreciate that. So, All right, very good. So here is what I'm going to do. Right now, I'm going to turn off the chat. By turning off the chat, what I mean is you can still write to me, but others cannot see it, so that each of us can stay focused on this webinar. And from time to time, I will open the chat. All right, very good. So now, what is the title of our webinar? The title of our webinar is How to Focus and Concentrate for Ultimate Success. Let us break it down. We will talk about focus and concentration in a little bit, but let us look at the second part of the title, which is for ultimate success. But what does ultimate success mean? Is there an absolute definition of ultimate success? No, there is no ultimate absolute definition. What success means to you is very different from what success means to me or to the other person in the webinar. So it is our own individual definition of success, and we will get more clarity on this as well. But success in what? We could say success in life, but that is too general a statement. So why don't we look at some of the aspects of our life? See, there are so many different aspects to our life, isn't it? There is a professional life, there is a financial life, there is a personal life, a family life, social life, any number of aspects to our life, and each one of them is interdependent on the other aspects of our life. But let us only take 4 aspects of our life so that we can narrow down our focus, and those 4 aspects are our professional life, financial life, personal life, and our family life. All right. So if we take our professional life, I am assuming that many of you are either in a job or you have your own business or your own line of work. And I am guessing that every one of you is really aspiring for that ultimate success, to climb the ladder in our profession or our business. And I say this because I myself used to be a professional. Even though I may look very different right now, I actually was a software engineer. I worked as a software engineer for 18 years from 87 to 2005. I was working in California, USA, in many high-tech companies. In fact, one of my job positions was at Sun Microsystems, where I was part of the team that created and developed the Java programming language, which is so widely used in the internet technologies today. So I come from that background. So I have had a fairly successful corporate life. So I understand that many of you want to have that successful career. So let me ask you a question. In your opinion, what do you think are the most important factors that are required for achieving success in our profession or our business, in our line of work? Is it our education or experience, training, skill, luck, contacts? What do you think is the most important thing that is required for us to advance in our career? Type in the chat. Love to know what loving what we do. Consistency, experience, communication skills, focus, communication skills, discipline and experience, skill and luck, skill and continuous learning, skill and experience. Yep, consistency and being confident, and education, hard work, overcoming fear. Wow. And I agree, each one of them, and in fact, a combination of all of these factors is really required for success in our professional life. So have that answer in your mind, and let us move on to the second aspect of our life, which is our financial life. Financial life meaning how much amount we want to earn per year, how much amount we want to have in the bank, and what would keep us secure in our mind to have a comfortable life. So, in the area of financial life, what what are the factors that are most important? Is it having a successful job or business? Is it investment skills? Is it money management? Is it inheritance? Is it luck, lottery ticket? What do you think is the most important thing for success in our financial life? Write in the chat. Money management, money. Well, money is the objective, but what is the most important thing? Yes, money is required to make more money, of course. Okay, in that sense, it is. Okay, time management, continuous flow of income, money investment, successful position where we can build our careers, consistency, planning, money and enjoyment, focus, wonderful learning. All right, great answers. Earn the money by investing, success. Wonderful. Okay, now let us move on to the third area of our life, which is our personal life. What does personal life mean? It is our physical health, it is our emotional health, being happy inside, feeling satisfied, or any of our personal goals, like maybe wanting to have that big house uh, travel plans, whatever our personal goals are. What do you think are the most important factors that lead to ultimate success in our personal life? Type in the chat. Mental health, love and care, support, mentally focused on whatever we do in life, support, happiness, manage family and profession, yes, environment, money, good relationships with everyone. All right, very good, wonderful. Okay, and let us come to the last area of life that we want to focus on, which is family life. And we all look for success in our family life. But what are the most important things for success in family life? Is it to have that understanding and caring and loving partner or spouse? Is it having beautiful children who are hardworking, dedicated, and loving towards their parents? Is it having loving parents? Is it having an extended family, siblings and extended family? What are the most important factors that lead to success in family life? Good relationships with everyone, satisfaction, understanding and loving parents, spending time well with all the family members, respect, combination of all I said, satisfaction for our family, understanding with spouse, care and support in bad situation, children's future. Okay, wonderful. Mutual respect. Okay, great. I really enjoy chit chatting with you and hearing from everyone. Okay, great. Now, everything that you mentioned, all of the factors that you mentioned for these four areas of life, I agree. It is very important for us to achieve success or ultimate success. Now, remember all of the answers that you have given me, and we are going to come back to that. But for the moment, just visualize that ultimate success is your destination. If ultimate success is your destination, you need to get there. And to get there, you need a vehicle, right? So just imagine a combination of all of the factors that you have mentioned to be the vehicle that takes you to that destination of ultimate success. Now, what does that in our case, let us just imagine that that vehicle is either a car or a plane or a boat, but for our practical purposes, let us just imagine that it is a boat. So let us just imagine that it is about for our visualization purposes, and we will come back to this. We will come back, we will circle back to all of the factors that you mentioned, to the vehicle and everything. But let us now delve a little bit more into what ultimate success means. And like I said, your definition of ultimate success is going to be very different from the definition of success for the person next to you. So let us find out about you. Let us focus on you. What is it that our life is about? What is our vision? What is our definition of ultimate success? Because we need to have a clear picture of that definition of ultimate success. So here is what we are going to do. Let us leave this conscious mind behind, this doubting mind, this questioning mind, and let us go into another realm, the realm of possibilities, the realm of higher consciousness, into a different plane of the mind. And for that, I want each and every one of you to be fully engaged. We are going to go into a deep guided journey which gives us clarity on what our definition of success is. What is it that we really want in life? So the next 5 or 6 minutes, make sure that you follow my instructions. Remember the deal, the agreement that we made, that you're going to be fully engaged. Now especially is the time for us to really get clarity on a few things. All right, good. Now, wherever you are sitting, I want you to sit straight, no slouching, but make sure that you are sitting straight and that your body is comfortable. And make sure that both of your feet are firmly planted on the ground, on the floor. Now, take a deep inhalation. Inhale, drawing in the energy of the universe, that prana, that life force. Inhale deeply and exhale, completely letting go of all of your worries and anxieties and stresses behind. Now, I want you to close your eyes. With your eyes closed, take another deep breath in. Inhale, drawing in that energy from the universe. And exhale, letting go of any thoughts, worries, anxieties. Now imagine that from your 2 feet, that roots are growing and extending deep into the earth. Deeper and deeper until the roots are at the center of the earth. Your body is now firmly held by Mother Earth very safely. Now all that matters is your breath and the sound of my voice only. Now take a deep breath in, inhale, knowing that your body is safe and now your spirit is ready to travel anywhere that you want to. And as you exhale, let the spirit rise within your body and let it gently leave the body so that your spirit is now above your body. And as you look down, you are seeing your body firmly and safely held. And now you imagine that you are at the center of a circle, the center representing the present moment in time, and the circumference of the circle represents the end of your life. And from the center to the circumference, there are any number of possible radial lines that take you to that end point. Each radial path is different. Now imagine that you are traveling on the radial line which represents the most positive version of yourself, but the most successful version of yourself. Let your spirit rise above and travel along that radial line that represents the most positive version of yourself, and travel to 5 years into the future. Your spirit is now 5 years into the future on the most positive version path of your life, and at that point descend down into the future. How does your life look right now, 5 years in the future? Your most successful version of yourself in each of these 4 areas. What does your professional life or business life look like? What do you want it to be? Do you want to be known the world over as a successful engineer or executive or a doctor or lawyer, whatever your profession is? Do you want to be leading a very successful company? What is your definition of ultimate success in your professional life? Now, switch to your financial life. It is 5 years from now, you are at your most successful, best. What does your financial life look like? What does your spirit want? How much money do you see yourself making? How much of a bank balance do you see having? And what does that mean to you? What difference are you able to make in the world? Now, switch to your personal life. At your most successful self, how do you see your physical health being? How do you see your emotional health being? Do you see yourself free of stress and anxiety and filled with that inner satisfaction, happiness, joy? What is your definition of success in your personal life? Now come to the last aspect, your family life. At the peak of your success, how do you visualize your family life to be? With your spouse or partner, with your children, with your siblings, with your parents? How is it? What kind of a difference are you making in your personal life, in your family life? Why is it so important for you to have that ultimate success? Okay, with your vision of this ultimate success, breathe that definition of ultimate success into each and every cell of your being, in your mind, in your body. And let every cell vibrate with that energy. And as you look back to the past, to 5 years, that is the present moment, be thankful for all of the decisions that you have consciously taken that have led you to this ultimate point of success. And now let your spirit rise above again and do the time traveling back. Let your spirit travel back on the timeline all the way to the center of the circle, to the present moment. And now your spirit is in the present moment, above your body. And now let your spirit enter back into your body quickly, easily, and effortlessly. Your spirit is now back in the body, and you are in full awareness and in gratitude for having traveled into the future and seen what is possible in the realm of possibilities. You have seen yourself at your most successful version. And now, in awareness, when I count to 3, you're going to quickly and easily open your eyes. Take a deep inhalation. Inhale, drawing that energy, that positive energy from the universe, from the vision that you have seen of yourself. Exhale, and 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. I hope you all have had a chance to take this journey, and welcome back. All right, good. I'm happy that you have taken this journey. Tell me in the chat, if you have taken this journey, how was it for you? How was it in 1 word or 2 words, short sentence? How was the journey for you? bright future, peaceful, wonderful, nice, peaceful. Good. I am glad. Just aesthetic. Nice one. Good. Again, want to visit your future. You will get there, Harshraj. You will get to your future 5 years from now. How, what shape, whether what you saw is going to come true, totally depends upon your decisions. Awesome. Calm. Nice. Wonderful. Not being. Excellent. Okay, good. Good. All right. So now let me ask you, we have seen a vision of what is possible, but is our mind is always like that doubting Thomas. It always raises the question. It will keep questioning, hey, that is the stuff of dreams. I am not going to get there. The mind will speak to you. You are not going to get there. This is not for you. This kind of a thing, this kind of a success is only meant to all those other people, but not for you. All of these questions, how can you get there? How is it even possible? How can you dream about such things? The mind will keep raising all of these questions, all of these doubts, isn't it? If your mind is already raising such kinds of questions within you, type a yes in the chat. Type a yes in the chat. If your mind is already doubting, questioning, yes in the chat. Type yes. Okay. Yes, I see so many of you typing a yes, 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 yes. Of course, the mind will doubt. That is its job. That is what it is doing. All right. Now, let me ask you a different question. And before you type anything in the chat, let me frame my question. Oftentimes, we say that we want to do this, we want to achieve that, and we truly believe that we want to do that, but inside of us there might be parts of us that are holding us back, that do not want to reach that ultimate place of success, that want to pull us down. So here is my question to you. In your heart, in your soul, in your mind, in every cell of your body, do you really want to achieve that success in this lifetime, 5 years from now? Do you really want it? If so, type a me in the chat. Type a me in the chat. If you truly, truly want to achieve that success, type a me in the chat. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, good. Okay, so let me also say this to you. Of all of the people, only about 5 to 10% will be actually able to reach that spot. And the remaining 90% will not get there. And the 10%, this is what distinguishes those 10% of the people, because they are going to consciously keep this vision every day and take actions, big actions, small actions, cumulative actions, the right decision that take you there. And I want each and every one of you to be in that 10% of the people, not in the 90%. Everyone has dreams, everyone has visions, but not everyone will take the necessary action or have the right intent inside. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you exactly how you can, at least the beginnings of that journey, I'm going to shed some light on you. Now, remember all of the factors that you mentioned that are important for us to reach that ultimate success, that destination of ultimate success in each of the 4 areas of our life: professional life, financial, personal, and family life. And we also said that all the factors that you mentioned is the equivalent of a vehicle, of a ship that takes us to our ultimate destination. Okay, so we have defined the goal, the ultimate destination, which is success, and we have defined the vehicle, a boat. But what about the medium in which the boat travels? What about the medium on which the vehicle travels? What about that part? Let us just look at, if our vehicle is a boat, and if what about the water that it is traveling on? If the water in the boat that the boat is traveling on, if it is facing tsunamis, if it is facing 100-foot crashing waves and heavy gale winds and storms and everything, water is tossing up and down, up and down, up and down, and no matter how good the boat is, no matter how good the captain is, no matter how well everything is, but if the tsunami is hitting you, if the winds of 200 kilometers per hour are hitting you, can the boat reach the destination? Can it reach the destination? Type in the chat. Do you think it can reach the destination? No, no, no. Yeah, maybe, and a couple of people are saying yes, but majority of you are saying absolutely no. And I agree with you. No matter how good our boat is, it cannot reach the destination. It makes it that much more difficult. Absolutely. However, if the water on which the boat is traveling is calm and smooth and the winds are favorable, wouldn't it be so much easier for the boat to reach its destination, isn't it? So both the vehicle is important as well as the medium on which it travels is important. So why am I mentioning all of this? We have equated all of the things that you mentioned are factors in our success, that as the boat. But what is the water? The water is our mind, right? If the stormy waters or the tsunami is the equivalent of a mind that is filled with stress and anxiety, of a mind that is not able to focus and concentrate, if only we can take control of the mind, and if we develop that ability to focus and concentrate, that takes us quite a distance. And I truly believe and know that the most important factor for success in life is a stable mind, the ability to focus and concentrate. If we have that ability to focus and concentrate and have a calm, composed mind, then nothing is impossible. And anything that we can conceive in our mind comes into reality. Whatever that you have seen as the most successful version of yourself can come into reality if we learn how to master this mind, how to maintain that focus and concentration. I call it the unflickering focus and unprecedented concentration. If only we have that, then everything else can be acquired, no matter what the challenges are. All right, so let us now actually talk about focus and concentration. But for us to talk about focus and concentration, we all need to have a clear understanding and definition of what focus means and what concentration means, isn't it? We have to come to a common platform regarding those definitions so that we can proceed further. So let us look at what focus means. Focus is the ability to narrow down our attention to something. You see a convex lens being held there, and the rays of the sun are being narrowed down into one single beam that is much more powerful than the individual rays of the sun. That is focus. But what is concentration? Concentration is our ability to sustain that focus in a uninterrupted fashion until the task that we want to accomplish is complete without any distractions. So in this particular case, if our underlying objective is to create a fire from the sun rays, what do we have to do? First, we have to focus the sun rays, right? But if you remove the convex lens immediately, we will not generate the fire. We need to hold the convex lens for enough time so that the fire is generated, and that is concentration. So that is the difference between focus and concentration. And if we are able to gain those skills, then we can achieve anything. But what is it that comes in the way of focus and concentration? What comes in the way for us to have that stable, uninterrupted mind? There are many factors, obviously. Let us look at some of the factors, a subset of the factors. Our emotions come in the way. Emotions such as whether it is fear or guilt or shame or sadness, anger, whatever, we carry so much of emotional baggage within us that is holding us down, isn't it? Also, positive emotions also come in the way, whether it is extreme joy or all of those also come in the way, but more so the negative emotions come in the way. Patterns of thought, patterns of behavior, they come in the way. We all think that we are free, but we are often slaves to our ingrained patterns of thought and behavior, and that leads to things like self-sabotage or things like addictions. That comes in the way. Ill health comes in the way. Ill health in the physical body, in our emotional body, through stress or anxiety or guilt or depression. It is a feeling of disconnect with our own inner selves that comes in the way. And there are other ill healths also. Ill health in our financial life can come in the way, and many factors. And of course, what comes in the way of a stable mind is the constant flow of thoughts, that constant inner dialogue that is going on, that is really coming in the way. So these are all the things that really tie us down. And when we are tied down, we cannot really move forward or make as much progress as we could or we should. let us just imagine for a moment that Neeraj Chopra, who recently won the javelin gold medal for us, if we tie a half-kilogram weight by a chain to his legs, do you think he could win a gold medal with a small weight, even a half kg of weight tied to his leg? Do you think he can win the gold medal? Absolutely not. But we are all like that. We are tied with not just half kg of weight, 10 kilograms of weight, 100 kilograms of weight. We are weighed down. We are bogged down by all of our emotions and negative patterns, and that mind that is not stable, that mind that is not able to focus and concentrate. And therefore, reaching that ultimate success is not a easy path unless we are able to fix this root, fix this base platform of the mind. So let us now start looking into how is it that we can get that stable mind, how is it that we can learn how to focus and how to concentrate so that we can really achieve that ultimate success, however you have defined your own individual definition of success in the 4 areas of your life. So let us look into that. But before we go into that, let me ask you a question. When you were growing up, did your parents or teachers, did they tell you, hey, concentrate so that you can come up in your life, concentrate on your studies? Or do you tell your children, concentrate on your studies so that you can become successful in life? Type yes in the chat if your parents or teachers have told you to concentrate, or if you tell your children to concentrate so that we can be successful. Type yes in the chat. Great. All right. Yeah, I see all of the yeses coming in. Now, here is the deal. For us to be successful in our job, we have trained ourselves to become an engineer. We go through a 4-year degree course to become a doctor, maybe 6 years or 7 years of training or whatever. But the point is, whatever our profession is, whatever our line of work is, we go through a formal training and we practice that, don't we, in order to excel at job. So we, just as Neeraj Chopra would have learned and practiced over and over again his work of throwing the javelin, we all formally train ourselves and do the practice in our jobs, right, to excel in our job. But have we, in the same rigorous fashion, in the same formal fashion that we prepare ourselves for our job, have we also formally learned how to focus and how to practice concentration? Tell me about yourself. Have you formally learned how to focus and how to practice concentration? If yes, type yes. If no, if you haven't gone through a formal practice, type a no in the chat. In my particular case, until well into my late adult stages, I haven't learned how to focus. Formally, I did not learn how to focus and to practice concentration. And I see a number of you saying no, no, no. And yeah, no, never, no, never. And that is the case with almost everyone. We never go through a formal training on focus and concentration, and that is very understandable. All right. So if we practice something, we get good at it, don't we? If we, whatever we practice, we get good at. So if we are practicing, if we are not practicing concentration, what are we practicing? We are practicing distraction. And guess what we get good at? Distraction. We get good at the mind wavering completely, the mind you know, going in its own way with its own thoughts and patterns and emotions. So for us to learn how to focus and to concentrate, and we are going to go into what are the things that you can do immediately in order to gain that unprecedented focus and concentration. But we first need to delve a little bit deeper. We need to understand about the mind. See, the mind is such a powerful tool. It can either be our best friend, which can take us to that ultimate success goal destination, or it can be our worst enemy and drive us down into the dumps. We have been told, or we know intuitively, that the mind is a very, very powerful thing, and indeed it is. So here is the question. I am pretty sure that each and every one of us at some point must have purchased or acquired some gadget that we were excited about. Maybe it was that new iPhone or a powerful laptop or that car or that bike, whatever. And when we purchased it, what does it come with? It comes with a instruction manual, doesn't it? What do? We go through that instruction manual, we learn everything about that gadget so that we can use it properly and we can gain the full benefit. We can take the most work out of it. So here is a two-part question, a rhetorical question. If a simple gadget can come with an instruction manual, how about this gadget, this mind? Mind is a instrument at our disposal. We are not our mind. We can stand apart from our mind and observe our mind. We can observe our thoughts. We can observe our emotions. So we are not our mind. Mind is just a tool that is there to serve us. A very, very powerful tool. So the questions are, is there a manual for such a powerful instrument? And if there is a manual, have we actually gone through that instruction manual of the mind, and have we learned how to operate, how to really make use of the mind? Answer to the first question, whether there is a manual for the mind, fortunately, there is. What is that manual? See, we are fortunate to come from a land of spiritual sciences, the ancient yogic sciences. And spiritual science is as real a science as any of the other branches of science, whether it is physics or quantum mechanics or chemistry or medical sciences. All of those fields, they are dealing with trying to understand and control the external world. But spiritual sciences, which is even more real than those sciences, delves into the inner world, and more precisely the mind and the depths of the mind and how to control that mind. And the ancient wise sages, they have really studied this mind and laid down some principles which were valid thousands of years ago, which are valid today, which will be valid 10,000 years from now. Same principles. If we can understand that and if we can navigate around that, then that is what brings you into the 10% of the people who are successful. And I hope you, and I'm speaking to each and every one of you, I hope you are in that 10% of the people. Right? So they have described that there are 5 states of mind, and each one of us, our mind is in one of those 5 states. What are those 5 states of mind? The first state of mind is the muda. state of mind. In this state of mind, it is a very dull and tamasic state where the mind doesn't want to move. There is so much of stagnation in life, not just stagnation, but really going down on a downward spiral of life. Because of the inertia, we just simply do not want to move, and obviously this is not going to get us anywhere. Well, let me correct myself. It is going to get us somewhere to the bottom, right? That is the Muda state of mind. The second state of mind is the Kshipta state of mind. And in this, the mind is extremely restless and it is distracted. Our thoughts are out of control, our emotions are out of control, the mind is out of control, and we act impulsively according to the how the mind dictates us. And when the mind is out of control and thoughts are out of control, our life is also out of control. The third state of mind is the opposite of Kshipta, which is Vikshipta. And here the mind is always preoccupied with one single thing. No matter what we are doing, we are always preoccupied with that one single thing. This is a more concentrated state of mind. And as you can see, we are, stepping from the more unrefined states of mind to the more refined states of mind. So in Vikshipta, that is often a state of mind that is used by poets and philosophers or scientists who are, people who are doing very deep work. They are completely preoccupied with that all the time. Now, this preoccupation can also be about other things that really do not serve us. For example, it is very much possible to be completely preoccupied with worry and anxiety or anger or whatever, and it immediately takes us back into the Kshipta state and into the Muda state of mind. So, the fourth state of mind is Ekagra. Now, this is you might have heard about this word ekagra or ekagrata. It is a fairly common word in our Indian languages. And in this state of the mind simply is fixated on whatever it wants to achieve. It doesn't move, it doesn't budge, no matter what. And this is the state that is called the state of flow. These days we are increasingly hearing about, quote unquote, the state of flow. What does state of flow mean? It means that things happen, we are able to accomplish things effortlessly. State of flow means that we are able to accomplish much more in much less amount of time, and everything is fluid and smooth all the way through. And that is a state of mind that was described thousands of years ago in our spiritual sciences, called the state of ekagra. And final state of mind is the niruddha state of mind, and here the mind is completely mastered and restrained, and this is the state of mind that yogis and masters, they strive to achieve this state of mind. So these are the 5 states of mind. So tell me, if we want to achieve ultimate success that we have visualized at the beginning of this webinar, what do you think is the state of mind that will take us there? Is it 1 or 2 or 3 or 4/5? What do you think is the state of mind that will take us to that definition of ultimate success? Type in the chat 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah, 4. Increasingly, it is, you're all saying 4. Yes, 4. Yes, absolutely. Some of you are saying five, but five is the highest state. Let us not think about five, but four. Four is the state. And thank you all for uh, engaging with me. Absolutely, yes. The state of ekagra is what is going to take us to that ultimate definition, ultimate success. Now, tell me, how many of you really want to learn how to come into this state of ekagra? If you are interested in knowing, and right now we are going to go into, we are going to spend a few minutes on things that you can do immediately, but do you really want to learn, and not just learn but practice how to be in this state 4? If so, yes, type yes in the chat. If that is what you are interested in, that is what you are looking for, if that if you really want that ultimate success, okay, type a yes in the chat. Great, and I appreciate all of your answers. Yep, and I'm seeing all of the answers that are coming through Facebook and YouTube also. All right, wonderful. Okay, so let us get into that right away. You may be surprised that there are a few simple things that we can start doing right from this moment onwards for us to have that unprecedented focus and unflickering concentration. What are the things that we can do? How can we learn, and how can we practice focus and concentration? The first thing is so simple. Believe it or not, it is to have a regulated lifestyle. And by regulated lifestyle, I mean regular patterns of when we wake up, when we go to sleep, regular habits of diet and exercise and spending time with our family. If we have a regulated lifestyle, that goes a long way in developing focus and concentration. And this is something we can put into action straight away if we really want to reach that state of 4, of ekagra, of ekagrata, of that state of flow where everything happens effortlessly and we are able to scale the heights of success. This is a must regulated lifestyle, and this is something that we can start implementing immediately, right? What is the second thing? The second thing is, again, so obvious, and yet many of us fail to do. It is to do only one thing at a time. See, the mind, we believe that, hey, I can multitask, I can do so many things at the same time, doing this, doing that, all at the same time. But as powerful as the mind is, it can only do one thing at a time. And if we are interrupt driven, then boom, there goes. Even regulated lifestyle will not help, right? So because the moment we switch the context to that incoming call or message or whatever, then it takes so much more time to come back to this state. Whereas if we remove all of the distractions for decided predetermined time, for example, even if 30 minutes, turning off every distraction and focusing on only one thing, that goes a long way. Now, the third thing I'm going to talk about is in my opinion, is the most important thing for us to develop that unflickering focus and unprecedented concentration. And that is for us to transform ourselves from the inside out, to change ourselves on the inside. And those transformational practices, what I call holistic practices, Those are the biggest aid for us to develop focus and concentration, not to speak about the health benefits in terms of the physical health and the emotional and mental health. So what are those holistic transformational practices? It is yogasanas. If you don't already have a yogasana practice, then I would really recommend getting into that, because yogasanas are not just about physical exercise, guys. It is much, much more deeper than that. Other and even more important than that is conscious breathing or pranayama, where our breath is so directly influencing our mind. And other holistic or transformational practices are meditation and mindfulness. All of these inner transformational practices, they change us at a cellular level. They rewire the brain so that we can have a calm mind, and we can have that unprecedented focus and concentration. So this is how we learn and practice focus and concentration. But let me spend a few minutes on understanding how our breath actually helps us develop that focus and concentration, because in my opinion, conscious breathing and meditation are the most important factors. See, many of you may have noticed that our state of mind directly influences how we are breathing, isn't it? For example, if we are angry or agitated or stressed or anxious, how is our breath? It is shallow, it is irregular, it is fast. But when we are in a relaxed state of mind, our breath is deeper, it is longer, it is slower, more harmonious. So obviously, the state of our mind is directly affecting our breath. But do you know that the reverse is also true? That is, our breath directly affects our mind. Our breath directly affects our thoughts. Our breath directly affects our emotions. We all know how difficult it is to directly control the mind. We cannot control the mind, but through our breath, and that is the good news. We can control. There are so many different ways of breath, and most of us actually breathe incorrectly, unhealthily, and we are not even aware of the full range of breath practices. That is why it is called pranayama, the expansion of prana, that life energy force within our body. And because when there is an improper distribution of prana in the body and in the mind, that leads to physical illnesses and emotional imbalances. And that is the most important thing. Practice of conscious breathing is equal to the practice of concentration. Practice of meditation is equal to practice of concentration. And whatever you practice, you get good at. If you practice concentration, you get good at concentration. When you get good at concentration, you can achieve that ultimate success. So let me now, ultimate success doesn't come just like that, guys. Ultimate success comes only when we are able to expand time and energy. That is when ultimate success. And there are some really quick, effective, just hard work is not enough. We need to know the right way of doing things. So, for all those of you who have said that you really want that ultimate success in life, and that you want to get into the state of flow, that state of ekagra, those of you who have said yes, Are you willing to put the time and energy to accomplish that? If so, just type yes in the chat. I'm really want to know who is really serious about putting the time and energy to really get there. Who, those of you who have that real desire to achieve that ultimate success, type yes in the chat. Because like I said, this is what is going to make the difference. This is what is going to make the difference. All right. So in this webinar, I have already exceeded by my time of the webinar by 10 minutes. But now I am talking to those of you who are really serious. If you are amongst those 10% of the people that really want to get there, then please stay on in this webinar for the next 20 minutes, because I'm going to share with you a program, a 7-day program that I'm offering that give you the tools to develop that unflickering focus and unprecedented concentration. See, right now I'm not able to see you, but I'm offering a 7-day program in which we will meet live on Zoom every single day, and I will take you through a set of holistic practices that help you transform from the inside out. And when change happens at the core of us, then the outer success will naturally follow. I cannot teach you how to have that skill in your job or profession or whatever skills. I cannot focus on the boat part. What I can focus on is the water part. That is the most important in my opinion. But the question in your mind is, Venkat, how come, why should I learn from you? Why should I, who are you? And let me share a little bit more about myself. Remember, I said that I used to work as a software engineer for 18 years. Well, at the peak of my career, in 2005, I walked away from my profession because of my inner calling, and I became a full-time student of spirituality. I returned back to India from US, and I have been practicing being a full-time student of spirituality. But here is the thing. I have been in the dumps, guys, even when I was, even though I was having a successful career, and I had a very successful career. And even when I was walking on the spiritual path, I faced many challenges in the mind, like stress and anxiety and depression. It nearly destroyed me. It nearly devastated me many times over. I hit rock bottom. But you know what? I learned and mastered these inner transformational practices, which I learned from accomplished yogis and gurus, and that helped me heal from the inside out, and that really transformed me. And I want to share, having been both in the corporate world and in the spiritual world, I want to bring a distilled set of practices, the crux of those practices that we can apply on a everyday basis in order for us to advance, have that ultimate success in the material world. Why don't we use that? And it is coming down to really mastering how to breathe, mastering how to meditate, so that we can have that stable mind. So I am offering a 7-day program in which we meet for 75 minutes every single day. We meet from 6:45 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and I take you through a very incremental, gradual path of creating that basic foundation, holistic practices such as conscious breathing, pranayama, meditation, mindfulness, conscious relaxation, all of these, in other words, recreating our mindset, recreating our patterns of thought and behavior at every level. That is what I'm offering. And if you are serious, stay. But if you are not serious, and I see some people leaving at this stage, and I totally understand, because they are not amongst the 10% people. I know that for sure. All right, so let me share about this program. This program is called, I have called it the Yogic Breath for Healthy Body, Mind, and Soul. Yogic Breath for Healthy Body and Mind and Soul. And uh, let us look into what this program is about and how you can benefit from it. So let us go into the details. But before I go into that, I just want to share with you all what Dr. Atul Shah, who is a practicing cardiologist for the last 4 decades, what he said. He recently took this 7-day program with me, and he said, after taking the program, I realized that conscious breathing is one of the most important skills for our emotional stability. And remember, emotional stability is what leads us to focus and concentration. Focus and concentration is what leads us to that ultimate success. And I'm grateful to Dr. Atul Shah for his kind words after taking this program. So let's look at what is included in the program. Like I said, this is a 7-day program in which we meet live for 75 minutes every day from 6:45 to 8 o'clock in the morning. A batch, it starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. I have 2 upcoming batches, November 29th and December 13th. And frankly, I do not know how long I will be doing these weekly classes, because I am looking into really, I will still be offering them, but probably not live. So now is the opportunity. I'm going to be live with you in the classes. So 2 days prior to the start of the program, there is going to be a live onboarding orientation session in which I take you through how to prepare yourself in the body and in the mind so that you can derive the full benefit out of this 7-day program. And it is going to be a live meeting as well. And as part of the program, you are going to be in a WhatsApp group that is specific to the batch, in which I am accessible to you to answer any questions, any doubts that you may be having. And this is also a forum for community support and a forum for you to turn in your assignments. In the 7 days, every single day, I give an assignment for doing offline. Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes of work. But I strongly believe that unless we integrate whatever we are learning and practicing into our everyday life, we cannot derive the benefits. So this is what is included in the program. It is 7 days, 75 minutes each day, 6:45 to 8 o'clock. There is a batch starting on 29th of November and another on the 13th of December. And there is a preparatory live onboarding session 2 days before the start of the actual program, and you will be part of a WhatsApp group specific to the batch. So those of you who are still in the webinar, and again, really, if you see what I'm doing, I'm trying to distill away people, because I only want to speak to those of us who are serious in getting there. And for those of you who are still there in the program and wondering how to get into the program, good question. All right. So, like I said, for you to derive the benefits out of this program, out of this 7-day program, in order for you to really get started on your journey towards that ultimate success, there is two investments that are needed. The first investment is a investment of 75 minutes every day for 7 days. Now, I am not trying to claim that, hey, if you invest 75 minutes for 7 days, then you are definitely going to be in that 10%. No, even after that, there has to be self effort on your part, but at least this is the initial thrust that I can give you, right? So that is the first kind of investment, time investment. And then obviously there is a monetary investment. What is the monetary investment? The normal investment for this 7-day program with me live is 5,000 rupees. And I know that every rupee is going to be well worth it because you are investing on yourself and it is going to stay with you. However, because this is year end and because I want to make this program available to as many people as possible, I have made it very affordable, and there is a special discounted investment for people in this live webinar, and that investment is 750 rupees only. And the reason I call it as a investment is because it is not an expense. See, every day we spend money. We spend money on a everyday basis, and most of that is an expense. It is a transitory thing, doesn't stay with us. But this, for a modest investment of 750 rupees, you are going to get that initial thrust, that boost that puts you on the way, that distinguishes you from the remaining 90 or 95% of the people. And that is the reason why I see people dropping away from the webinar as I come into this part, and I see only the serious people. So if you're still there, I'm assuming that you're still serious. So let me now share the links on how you can enroll into this program. I am going to share two links with you. The first is a InstaMojo link that allows you to enroll in the upcoming November 29th to December 5th batch. And the second link I am going to share is a InstaMojo link that allows you to join in the December 13th to 19th batch. And if you have any questions regarding the program, and I am also seeing some questions, Mary Shanti, I see your question. I will address that, and any of you have any questions regarding this program, regarding whatever we talked about today, anything, type in the chat and I will cover each and every question. I will address each and every question that you might have. But I also want you to know that I am going to close this webinar in the next 20 minutes. And this offer is going to be valid during that 20 minutes. And because I need to respect your time, I need to respect my time. But any questions that you have about this program, feel free to type in the chat and I will address each and every one of them. And I will also, I'm going to share exactly if the question in your mind is, okay, Venkat, looks interesting, but I'm still not yet decided what is it exactly that I'm going to learn during these 7 days. What does a 75-minute session look like? How is it going to benefit me? If you have those questions, I'm going to address those. All right. So we have, again, like I said, 20 minutes and I'm going to close the webinar. Any questions? Let them keep coming into the chat. You have the two links InstaMojo links. And when you join by InstaMojo, you will get a auto reply which contains all of the necessary details, joining in the WhatsApp group, the Zoom link, and every other information. All right, with that, let me very briefly cover. Yes, Surya, I see your question. I am going to address that question. And any other questions, keep them coming. And let me now go into what is it that you are going to learn during these 7 days. All right. Okay, again, okay, so like I said, investment is 750 rupees, batch 7-day program, batch starting on November 29th and another batch starting on December 13th. Okay, so yes, I'm going to answer each and every question. Now, let me just go over what is it that we are covering. Hey, by the way, let me share this, what Praveen Vadalkar had to say about this program, and many of you would be familiar with him because it is through his channels that you have come into this webinar. And he actually took this program himself because he was feeling very defocused, not able to focus on his work, and he was feeling low levels of energy. And he said, after taking this program, I have an increased focus and energy. My empty mind chatter has stopped, and it is that empty mind chatter which robs us away from our focus and concentration. Absolutely. And really, all of the practices, inner transformational practices, are going to help you at a deeper level to have that healthy body, mind, and soul. It helps us drive away all the many physical ailments like high BP or heart-related conditions, or emotional problems, stress and anxiety, or coming back to the physical problems, low energy levels, fatigue, all of that. So I'm glad that it has worked for Praveen, and I know it is going to work for each and every one of you. And the reason I'm very sure is because these are based on principles, on science. It can never go wrong, guys. So if you're really serious to be in the 10%, again, I'm trying to distill down. Ask yourself, are you amongst those 10% of the people? If yes, hey, here is a possible boost for you to get on that path. All right. So let me just share what you will learn and practice. Conscious breathing or pranayama is going to be a central thing that we are going to cover during the 7 days. And the practice of conscious breathing is directly the practice of concentration. It is directly how to gain control of our mind, of our thoughts, of our emotions. Like I said, mind controls the breath, breath controls the mind. You cannot control the mind directly. Learn this conscious breathing, guys. This is a jewel, a hidden jewel. Conscious breathing, we will cover many practices. We are all not even familiar with the typical, literally tens and hundreds of ways of breathing. Not that I'm going to cover all of that, but the crux of that gives us that maximum benefit, I'm going to cover. So you're going to learn conscious breathing. In addition to that, you are going to learn a deep and effective meditation practice every single day. We are going to spend time in explicit meditation practice also. And at the end of 7 days, you will have that beautiful practice, and even a few minutes of practice of meditation can really help you in your focus and concentration, get rid of all the emotional baggage that you're carrying, whether it is stress or anxiety or depression, whatever it is that you're carrying. So you're going to learn and practice conscious breathing and meditation, but that is not all. You are also going to learn how to properly relax your body and mind. And this is so important. We really do not know how to do this. And that's why when we wake up, we often feel stressed out and lethargic and tired. But we really need to know how to properly learn to relax. And even a few minutes of relaxation is going to do wonders for us. In addition to all of that, you are also going to practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Very simply put, mindfulness is that ability for us to be completely be present in the moment, in full awareness and in full focus, whatever activity that we are doing, whether that activity is a deep activity like our work or spending time with a loved one, or even a routine activity like brushing your teeth or getting ready for work. When we practice mindfulness, what we are really doing is practicing concentration, and that brings us into the state of flow. So these are the four things that you're going to learn. And when you combine conscious breathing with meditation, with proper relaxation and mindfulness, it is a integrated way for you, an integrated approach for you to transform from the inside out. And when change happens on the inside, outer success will follow. We have to first fix the inside, and the external skills, all of those are important, but the medium, the water on which you are traveling, is most important, guys. So this is what you will learn and practice. So, and every day 75 minutes that we spend, majority of the time is spent on practice, practice, practice. There is going to be enough theory, but focus is on going to be on practice, so that you get used to that routine, you get used to that rhythm. Okay, keep the questions coming. Let me also mention that I will be closing this webinar in another 12 minutes. Let me share the two links, and I will come to each and every question that has been asked in the Q&A or in the chat. And if you have any other questions, keep them coming, keep them coming. All right, let me share the links one more time, and I'm going to address the question. Here is the link, InstaMojo link for December 13th to 19th. And let me share the November 29th to December 5th link. There you go. You now have both of these links, and you have a limited time to make your decisions. All right. And I will also say this. If you decide to come on this program, in this 7-day journey, inner transformation journey with me, try it out. Take that leap of faith, guys. Some opportunities come once in a while, and this can be that factor that puts you in that 5%. Okay, but I want you to be convinced yourself whether you truly want to have that success that you have visualized, and if so, take the right decision. All right, good. Now let me answer each and every question, and I will come. Okay, Mary Shanti, you have already joined in the program. Okay, I'm assuming that you did not pay through InstaMojo, but you paid through mobile, phone pay or Google Pay. And did you send a screenshot to by WhatsApp to the number that you have seen? And did you not receive any reply? just type in the chat so that I understand. But if you have really paid and you haven't gotten any communication or acknowledgement back, please send me a copy right now. Mary Shanti, if you are there, can you type yes in the chat so I know you're still here? And I want you to send me a email. I am giving you my email address in the chat. Here is my email address. Write to me and I'll make sure that you get that proper response. So Mary Shanti, if you are there, I haven't seen your response yet. Type a yes in the chat and send me a email to this address, venkat@venkat-rao.com. All right, let me answer the other questions that are there. Surya is asking, can you change the timings? If it's evening, it is better for me. I'm happy to answer your question, Surya. Surya, are you there still in the webinar? If so, type yes in the chat, please. Type yes, and I will answer your question. And while you are typing that, Vivek is asking, if we miss the session, can we get the recorded video of the day after that? Vivek, absolutely. Absolutely. Every session is going to be recorded, and I make sure that the recorded session is available to everyone. I share that in the WhatsApp group that same day. And if for whatever reason that you miss a single session, you can practice along with the recording, and the recordings are going to be available not only during the duration of the 7 days, but for 1 month after the 7 days. So it is available. All of the recordings are going to be available, and at the end of 7 days I am actually going to leave you with a audio tape for a morning practice and an audio tape for evening practice. Audio tape for the evening practice is only 15 minutes to be practiced just before going to bed. It is a combination of a breath practice and a meditation, and that really helps rest the body, relieve you of stress, and a wonderful practice. And so you are going to get all of those. So even if you miss a session, that is absolutely okay. And so hopefully that answered your question. Let me come back. All right. Okay, Mary Shanti, if you have sent it to Rupesh, he has not seen that. Now, please send me an email, Mary Shanti, and I will make sure that you get all of the information. All right. By the way, Surya, you asked if I can change the timings of what I'm offering, and if it's evening, it is better for you. Can you type a yes in the chat if you're still here? I want to hear from you. And so let me go to the other questions while you are replying. Okay. And Kiran is asking, can I get a confirmation on the payment I have done for 29th November? Kiran, have you paid through InstaMojo or have you paid through PhonePe or Google Pay to that thing? Today I did not share that, but I am. If you have paid by InstaMojo, you would have received a auto reply. But if you haven't received it, just send me your information, email me, and I'm going to make sure that it is resolved. So, Kiran, if you could answer my question. Have you already joined, Kiran? Because your question, it is not very obvious to me, but in any case, let me share, oops, wrong message. Let me share my email address one more time, venkat@venkat-rao.com, in case you have any questions. All right. So Deepankar Goswami, can I register before 29th but not now? I totally understand that, uh, uh, I want to keep this open only for the live webinars, but since you are in this webinar, I'm assuming for whatever reason you're not able to make the payment right now. So here is what I suggest that you do. Because you are in this live webinar until this point, please send me an email. You have my email in the chat, venkat@venkat-rao.com. At the time that you are ready to make the payment, send me an email and I will send you the links so that you can make the payment at this amount. So hopefully that will answer your question, Deepankar. All right. So Kiran is saying, yes, I did through the link you shared. What do you mean? You did with the link you shared. Kiran, it is not obvious to me. What do you mean? Did you pay through InstaMojo or did you pay through the mobile number? Okay, Vivek, let me share the links one more time, the InstaMojo links. Here is the InstaMojo link, Vivek, for the November 29th to December 5th batch. And let me share the link for the December 13th to 19th batch. So there. Okay, so you have the two links, Vivek, November 29th. Now, Kiran, I'm still not sure what you mean when you said, yes, I did through the link. Did you? Okay, Kiran, if you have paid through InstaMojo, but are you saying that you did not receive the auto reply? Did you check your updates and promotions folder? And if you have paid through InstaMojo, we will make sure that, okay, why don't you send me an email? You have my email address, right, Kiran? Just send me an email. It will come directly to me and I will address that and send me whatever, payment receipt that you may have received, or just send me an email and we will make sure that we go through that. So type a yes in the chat if you got my message. Okay, great. All right. Okay, Nitesh. By the way, Nitesh, you are saying from Facebook, looking forward to the sessions. I'm assuming because you put that message, that means that you might have joined. By the way, those who have joined in this session, type a I in the chat so I know to expect you. Type a I in the chat. All right. Let me address the other questions. All right, good. And I welcome those who are joining the program. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good. Okay. Let me address the question that was asked by Surya. Okay, the question asked by Surya is, can you change the timings? If it's evening, it is better for me. And let me address that, Surya, by saying this. Right now, the batches are fixed for 6:45 to 8 o'clock. And this applies to those of you for whom 6:45 to 8 o'clock does not work for you because of maybe your work schedule or because of whatever reason, and it may be possible for you to only do the practice in the evening or in the morning. So I'm speaking to those of you who are interested in joining this program, but 6:45 to 8 o'clock is not a convenient time. Here is the good news. you can still, the timing is of the live session is the same, 6:45 to 8 o'clock. That I'm not going to change, but you can join and still derive the full benefit. And here is how. If you are able to one thing is for sure, you have to be able to spend 75 minutes every single day, 75 minutes of uninterrupted time, whether you can schedule it for the evening time or maybe earlier in the morning, earlier than 6:45. I am going to make the recordings available, and every day for 7 days, make sure that you sit with the recording and practice along with the recording, just as though you were in the live class. The only thing that you will miss when you are practicing it through the recording and not being in the live class is the ability to ask me any questions as I am teaching. But that is not to say that your doubts, if you have any, will not be cleared, because you will be in the WhatsApp group and you can ask me and I will personally answer each and every question that you have. So if you are able to practice only in the evening or in the morning earlier than 6:45, make sure you have that uninterrupted, undistracted time. And especially if you are practicing in the evening, make sure that you have a relatively empty stomach. Don't eat dinner and immediately do the practice of 75 minutes, because digestion is going to take so much of energy. So our abdomen needs to be relatively empty. So maybe, at least give a gap of at least 1 hour before, after you eat and before doing the practice. But you can still derive the full benefit. All right. Who else has joined? Type I in the chat. Okay, so Sabitra Sharma is saying, just now I joined, but I don't understand anything. What do you mean, Sabitra? You mean to say you have joined, made the payment through the Instamojo link, but what do you mean, I don't understand anything? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Sorry, can you please be a little bit more explicit? Are you saying that you did not receive the auto reply, or what is it? Just let me know, Sabrita, by the way. So you did not receive the auto reply? If that is the case, please check your, Instamojo 100% sends the auto reply, tried and tested. Check your updates folder, check your folder for promotions. And if you still do not have the auto reply, come to me, send a email. Again, I'm sharing my email address here, venkat@venkatrao.com, and let me share that in Facebook. And well, all right. I'm getting some funny questions from Prajesh. Maybe I will answer. All right. The kind of questions that I get sometimes. Okay. All right, let me answer the other questions. Let me see. Okay. Oh, here is a question from, okay, Dipankar. Dipankar, you asked a question, can it have a deep impact on me? Because nothing so far of my 56 years would restrain me of worldly materialistic entertainment. How is it different from Art of Living's daily sadhana, which is free? Okay, so it has two questions. Dipankar, are you still there? This is an interesting question. You have joined. Okay, I'm glad that you have joined, but I will address your question nevertheless. First off, understand this, that materialistic materialistic pursuits, it is not wrong. The way in which you have framed your question, let me just go back and read that question. Um, your question was, in your 56 years, whatever practices that you have done could not restrain you of worldly materialistic entertainment. Listen very carefully, and I want every one of you to understand. Materialistic entertainment in itself is not bad. We have a binary kind of a thinking. Hey, either I have to be completely, stop away from all of this. I should not have desires. I should not have whatever. I should not fulfill my desires, whatever they may be. No, no, no. Materialistic pursuits and spiritual pursuits are two sides of the same coin. I want you to understand that. And you have to fulfill your soul's desires as long as it doesn't harm anyone. I can say this very openly. And I want you to also be detached from your materialistic pursuits, because what creates that guilt, oftentimes, there is always that guilt. Oh my God, no, do I deserve that? Can I pursue this? Should I have this? Am I worthy of this? We should not have any of those distinctions, as long as it is in proper dharma, and as long as it is not harming anyone. And especially when you are using these spiritual principles, of course, it should not be an either or. Life has to be a balance. Life has to be a balance, guys. And that is the reason why I so carefully chose the uh, emblem, or the logo of my program. Let me share that logo with you, and I'm addressing this to you, Deepankar. Uh, I want you to look at the logo. Here is the logo. The logo is a representation of the yin yang, of the opposing forces within us, and we need to bring them into a state of unity. So there has to be that proper balance. So don't think that, okay, I want to go on a practice of whether it is meditation or pranayama or whatever, that I cannot have those other desires. No, I'm just taking a little bit more time to address your question. And how is it different from Art of Living's daily sadhana, which is free? Well, I really haven't experienced Art of Sadhana. I have a respect to that, but mine is a so I cannot really compare. I can only speak about what I am offering with very, very specific goals. It is a integrated approach of meditation and pranayama and conscious relaxation and the practice of mindfulness, with very, very specific goals, and it is very practice oriented. So and since you have joined, you yourself will experience, and you can let me know if you have practiced that. You can let me know what the differences are, so I'll be able to. So hopefully that answered your question. Let me see if I have if I need to address any other questions. And Kiran is saying, yes, you received the InstaMojo, you received the email update from InstaMojo for the payment done. Congratulations. All right. And Senthil will. Okay. Yes, Senthil will. If you have you joined today? And you will 100% get the details in the email for sure. And if you any of you, if you have made the payment and if you have not received any auto reply, which I do not know why that would be the case, but if for any reason, if you have any difficulties, you have my email address in the chat, and I will be happy to address that. Let me see. All right, I think I have addressed pretty much everyone. Prajesh, you have asked a very interesting question. Are you still there listening to me? If so, just type yes in the chat. So I will spend a minute or two to address your question, but I am going to close this in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Really, I am closing this webinar in the next 3 or 4 minutes. I still see a few people, and I still see many people in the webinar who are still present but have still decided not to join the 7-day program. I cannot imagine why. That might be the reason, especially if 750 rupees is something that you can afford. And if you really want to get to that vision that you have seen, and you know that you need a boost, you know that you need to change from the inside, but you still haven't joined, perhaps you're not amongst that 10% of the people or 5% of the people, or maybe now is not the right time for you. I really do not know, but I'm speaking to those set of people who are in the webinar who haven't uh, joined but are still in the webinar even after nearly 2 hours, not yet 2 hours, but almost close to 2 hours. I really hope that you take up these inside out transformational practices that help you, if not from me, from some other mentor, if not now, at some other time in the future. But I want you to do that. And all right, so that's it, guys. Thank you all so much. We have spent the last, this has been a pretty long webinar for me, but I have enjoyed every moment of it, and I hope that you had a good time and you learned something new. Let me interact with you for one last time. I am opening the chat. I am opening the chat, and just type in yes, it was useful, or no, whatever you want to type in. I welcome. If it has been useful to you, type a yes in the chat. And to every one of you, and especially, okay, first of all, to everyone who has joined, I have seen your messages. I am looking forward to seeing you inside the 7-day program. Any questions, write to me directly. You have my email address, and this is a very warm welcome to you, and to everyone who is in this webinar until this late hour. Thank you all so much for spending the last couple of hours with me. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great life. May you live your life to your fullest potential. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Namaste to everyone.